Okay, so as long as I stay in this area, we should be okay. Keep your eyes off my ginger snaps. The other day I decided I wanted to buy one of these. This is that they use for checking the oxygen level and stuff like that in your system. And, you know, for the last couple weeks or whatever, yeah, my chest sometimes feels a little tight, and sometimes I feel like I'm not getting the oxygen that I need. You know, I don't know. You know, you get to know, you know. And sometimes, you know, it gets to the point to where you feel like you can't get that cleansing breath. You know, you're breathing, you're fine, but you just can't satisfy yourself with that cleansing breath that we're used to taking throughout our life, you know. And then if you're used to taking it and you can't, you know, you just, you know, as long as you're breathing and everything's fine, you know, it's a little uncomfortable, but you know, it's just life, I guess, changing. I don't know. But at that point, I mentioned that one time about 2 or 3 years ago or longer to my heart doctor, and she said, oh, okay, yeah, she kind of just wrote it off. So I figured, okay. I went to a doctor, pulmonary, I guess you would call him, I don't know, one for breathing, and he put me through an hour and a half of different things in his office, and machines and stuff like that. And he said everything looked okay, you know, so okay. You know, I mean, whatever is whatever. But however, I wanted to buy one of these. I decided it would be a good thing to have around, you know, just to double check every now and then. I do have a blood pressure machine, you know, with a cup and all. But by the time you get it on, pump it up, you know, it does everything automatic once you pump it up. But and it reads everything out, if those of you who are familiar with them. But at that point I said, this is nice. I don't have to pull the other thing and plug it in and all that kind of crap. So I decided to buy this. Now, this, you turn it on. The readout is a little small. I don't even know if you're seeing that or not. It's 2 different colors. It's a yellow and a blue. It says finger out. Well, that means my finger's not in it. So let's put my finger in it. Well, let's turn it on first. It does turn off by itself, so you got like 10 seconds, 15 seconds to work with it. Okay, now I'll put my finger in there. And once you do, it takes a few seconds for it to read everything. Okay, so it's telling me that my oxygen level right now is 96. My heart rate is 64. And there's something else in there in the middle that I don't know what it is. I'm going to look it up, but that's a 5.5. And the more I move around, the higher it goes. So it's got to have something to do with something. Now my oxygen level, which is 96 at this point, just went up because I just inhaled. See? Now that's it. It just went up again. So my normal, when I'm just hanging around, breathing normally, it falls around 96, 97. When I was checking it before, and, you know, breathing, not breathing, and I was just sitting here, it was see, it's stable at 98, now it's up to 99, now it's up to 100. And that's just my normal, you know, intake, because it takes a few seconds for it to stabilize. It does have a bar that continues to go. The first time it swipes, you know, yes, what is it? But don't depend on the first one. You know, after 2 or 3 swipes, you know, 15, 20 seconds, you kind of stabilize to where you think it is. And my heart rate is up to 66. And we're stable in right around 98. All right. Anyway, that's how that works. So I think this cost me, it was $29. It's going to shut off by itself. It does have an app on the phone. I haven't done anything with it yet because you got to hit the old QR code, and I'm not crazy about those, but we'll see what happens. First, see if I can find it without that on the Play Store. It does say Play Store. I just have a phobia of sort on QR codes. I don't know why, but it's just me. So anyhow, that's it. Now some of them will come with a case if they sell them with cases, not so much this particular one. But I noticed the ones with cases, they're charging you like an extra $20. You know, it may do more, may not do much. It may be different sensors. Who knows what inside is? But I wasn't about to spend an extra $20 to have a little case. You know, you take a little eyeglass pouch and stick it in that if you want to carry it around with you, which you can. Now, if you turn it on and you open it up, you're going to notice there's a light blinking in there. I don't know if you can see that or not, or if I'm even in focus. Now it shuts off by itself. When you put your finger in there, there's a few things you want to make sure of. Now, I haven't read the book yet, but I'm sure it's going to bring that up. And why I haven't read the book yet is the book is as small as the unit is. And it's going to be a lot of this and that. I'm going to see if I can find this online. But if you have fingernail polish on, it may keep it lower, because the thing is, that little light, there's a light blinking up, there's a sensor on the top that's catching the light, and what happens is that light beam, as it's going through, and again, you don't feel anything, it doesn't leave any marks or anything, you don't even know it's on your finger actually, but what it does, that's how it's reading the levels, your blood pressure, oxygen levels, and stuff like that. So if you have any, we'll say a lot of dirt on your hands, like once I start working, you know how my hands get, but you want to clean your fingers. Or if you have clean hands to start with, if you hang around and do nothing, type on the typewriter or on the typewriter, holy shit, computer, I remember, no, never mind, but a computer, you know, your normal everyday stuff, that's fine. You know, if you're a mechanic, wipe your hand off before you stick it in there. For you women that wear fingernail polish, or guys, that's going to interfere with it. If it's got a metallic, you know, or a metal flake type look, that's going to interfere with it. So you want to make sure at this point that you don't have your fingernail polish on and your fingers are clean. And again, I don't mean you have to wash your hands. You know, just make sure there's not a lot of crap on them. I don't know, because I haven't read the book yet, if you are using fingernail polish, like a clear or a color, and you check it, whatever that number is, if you check 10 minutes later doing the same thing that you were doing, and the number is the same, well, that might be a guide point, you know, kind of a reference point as to what it's going to be with the fingernail polish on. Versus when it's not on. But again, fingernail polishes are all different, so I would recommend making sure it's not on. You know how some guys or girls, they'll wear fingernail polish on one finger, you know? Well, if you wear all fingernail polish, keep one finger clear. It doesn't make a difference as far as I know what finger. But yeah, so at that point, that's about it. So it seems to be a pretty good little unit. So I'm going to play with it for a few days, and we'll see. I'm going to play with it throughout the course of the day as well, and see what happens. And we'll take it one step at a time. Alright guys, I got a few other things I got to do. However, I went through all this yesterday. I went through a few things. A bunch of shorts. Well, not like 1 minute shorts, but, you know, short for me, you know. And again, when I went to put them on the system, they went, and when I started looking at them to so-called edit, I found out that they were videos from like months ago. I said, wait a minute, I format this thing each and every time, so it shouldn't have anything on it other than what I put on it for yesterday. But at that point, I don't know. Now I did change some of the settings, so I don't know if it's going to be any better or any worse. We won't know that until I plug this in, because I changed them the night before yesterday, before last. So the night before yesterday, yeah. So at that point, this is the actual first time that I'm doing anything with it with the new settings. So we'll see how they kind of look. All right, guys.